got the vibe, yeah, we got the flow. Jeff Foxx, taking you behind the mic, keeping you in the know. Where the real stories are told, where the truth and the soul unfold. Now you know, it's the Jeff Foxx Show. Behind the Mic podcast.
What's going on, my people? I hope you're feeling real good and you're having a happy day. This is your boy, Stacii Adams, and I hope you're tuning in, and I know you're tuning in to the Jeff Foxx Show Behind the Mic podcast. Have a happy day. Let's go.
Hey, Stacii, how you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Just happy to be able to, man, get this interview with you.
A lot of times I use the word up and coming. I'm talking to Stacii Adams right now. Stacii been around for a minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, Stacii, what do they say? Overnight success, but you've been around for many, many years doing your thing. When we talk about Stacii Adams as an R&B artist, we're going to put our marker right there smack in the 90s because that was one of your favorite decades when it comes to R&B music. Am I right about that?
It's my favorite decade. From a listener standpoint, definitely, man. To be able to hear the music and you can listen and tell when it was originality. You know, when people were original. A lot of people were inviting each other's style. In the 90s, you had Patti LaBelle, Tupac Shakur, Whitney Houston, New Edition, Boys and Men. You just had an array of melting pot artists that could be original.
Everybody was there, that is for sure. And your background is music. You grew up around a musical family. Tell the folks about your family. It's incredible.
Well, you know, my dad was a professional drummer and a singer. I got a lot of my inspiration from him. He turned me on to a lot of music, you know, from Marvin Gaye on down to, you know, the greats, the Temptations on up to Luther Vandross's, to the Freddie Jacksons. You know, you name Michael Jackson's, Michael McDonald's, a lot of different music, man. So it was a blessing to be a part of that, get turned on to that kind of music.
Your dad was a drummer. Did you get on the drums too?
Well, no, I didn't ever get on the drums. I didn't acquire that talent, but I did acquire a little bit of the vocals.
That's not the only person in your family that had that professional experience. Who else?
Oh, yeah, my sister, she did a lot of work with A-Town players back in the day, and she also she was in a group with Millie Jackson's daughter called Black Coffee. They had a short run, but she was one of the few that had a chance to kind of experience some major level success.
So you had a lot of influence right there in your family. So at what point did your musical journey begin?
First stitch, I ran to Teddy Ashton. Me and a partner of mine were walking around, knocking on doors, trying to get a record deal. You know, it was like 2002, 2003, somewhere in there. I was a freshman in college. You know, we running around trying to get situations going. And Mr. Ashton gave us an opportunity, and that was my first introduction to radio and the real music business because he had worked with so many of the greats. So shouts out to Teddy Ashton.
Absolutely. And you're one of those rare folks that had the ability to go one direction or the other direction. A lot of folks don't know you actually started out as a pretty good basketball player with a scholarship to play in college. Now, tell me about your professional athletic career.
Well, you know, I had a tryout. I tried out for the Hawks and didn't make it.
I mean, to be good enough to come in there and say, let me try out, you must be pretty good.
Yeah, I had a pretty good game, and then I had a chance to, to go get over there with the Macon Blaze when they had a team, but they weren't paying enough, so I decided, let me go ahead and start singing. I said, singing going to have to be my thing because the rest of it didn't quite work.
So when you played basketball, what was your position?
Shooting guard, small forward.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you still follow the game today? 'Cause I know you still love it, right?
Yeah, I watch what they got going on. I watch it and keep my eyes to it. Been checking out the playoffs. It's looking pretty good out there.
You're deeply rooted in Atlanta, to live in Atlanta as a R&B artist. It is really a fertile ground for talent. Do you love it in Atlanta?
I love it. You know, the thing about Atlanta, it's the melting pot for the good and the bad. Meaning, a lot of times people go out fake it till you make it. I've always been the one to just make it, and whatever you're going through, just be real about it. So a lot of times here in Atlanta, you can run into a lot of people that's pretending to be at the top of the game, but really they're at the bottom of the game. You have to be very careful in the city. In any city you go in, you got people that came to Atlanta in a Maserati and left on a skateboard. So you got to hold it in the road, you know what I'm saying?
You see a lot of folks pretending to be the top of the game, but they're at the bottom of the game.
Yeah, boy, that's the toughest thing is being an artist, man. You get mixed up with the wrong own crowd, and you lose your most precious commodity. That's time.
Right.
You don't want to lose too much of that. So, yeah, that's my thing. But I love it here. I've been able to work with a lot of great artists, and I've been able to do a lot of great things as an independent artist. And I work with some of the best of the best, and it's been a blessing.
So when you go into a recording studio, when you go in, do you already know what you're going to say, or do you wait to catch the vibe when you get in there?
I like catching the vibe when I get in. I catch the vibe. I like listening to the track, and I like setting the mood. And, a lot of times with writing, you let the track talk to you. All of my stuff right now is written directly from my chest and my heart and my spirits. There's no suno. It's all coming out the head right now.
Oh, you say no suno, right?
Not right now, but if I get too hard up, I have to grab and throw some words in there.
Now, for folks who don't know the technology nowadays, suno is a service on the computer that can actually help you generate music. Now, this technology is really taken over.
Mm-hmm.
Is that intimidating for musicians and especially people who play instruments? Is the technology taking folks out of the realm of employment?
Well, I would like to say yes. A lot of times people will want to give a popular answer and say, no, man, what's for you is for you. I would say this. It's always been when the artists start getting a lot of power and be independent, it put them in a position to where the labels were losing control and been losing control. So at this point, the conglomerates have come up with a way to where you can X out the artists and keep all the publishers, keep all the writers credit, and have the robot do it, and the only thing is they don't have the live performance aspect of it. But, when it comes to publishing, we know how big publishing is. If a label can go in and just throw some words in Suno and keep 100% of the royalties and 100% of the publishing, then what you need the artist for? I think a lot of artists don't understand how important it is to make sure you have a real job, a real career, because to me, music was never intended to be a main source of income. To me, music was intended to uplift people, and if they want to tip you and pay you, cool. I think the problem came in when people start making it a business. You have 10 artists make it and 10 million artists don't.
Exactly.
A lot of time artists got to understand to keep what's necessary up front, like your health insurance, your life and death insurance, everything you need to be a surviving human being. And I think that's the biggest problem a lot of artists have. I don't have that problem because I love music, but I had to make sure I didn't position myself where my precious commodity time passes me, and they say I know I'll be an old man and all I got is memories and conversation. Other than that, I tell any artist, make sure you put music as your second option. I know you can look on Facebook and hear people talk on Instagram and say great motivation, but the game has changed. Make sure your real life is doing what it needs to do, because you will lose your precious commodity, which is time, and you will leave out of here with nothing but memories.
That's Stacii Adams. That's one of the realest things I've ever heard any artist ever say.
You don't want to be in a position where you're the guy complaining about what happened to you. Read your contracts, whatever deal you sign, and try to move forward. But I learned when I first got with Mr. Aston, you never want to make music your main and only thing. And it's a real big gamble now because you're working against a lot of obstacles that they didn't have to work against in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and 30s, 80s, and early 90s. So now you got Suno, you got all these other things happening. Labels saying, hey, we're not putting no more money into you. Why put money into you? And then you got artists that's willing to sign anything just to get an opportunity. Honestly, Foxx, as a label, and you can ask anybody this because I've invested in myself so long. See, Stacii Adams is signed to me. I'm Stacii Adams, but he signed to me. And guess what? Stacey's going to be at shows on time. He's going to make sure he do these interviews on time, and I can trust him. He don't have no bad chemical habits. I'm not going to worry about him getting to the show on time. What artists got to understand, when you're investing your money, if you say I'm going to put $300,000 into a human being, and you don't know what may happen, what kind of deal you supposed to give us? I understand, because, at the end of the day, you never know what's going to happen. The artist may wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I want to start preaching. And you don't put $400,000 in my career. I don't want to sing no more. I don't want to rap. I want to build houses now. One of the worst investments in the world, and I know it, is into another human being. If it's not your child, if it's not your wife, and if it's not yourself or your intermediate family that you can trust and love, when you start investing your money and your time into another human being that have their own conscience, at any given time, they can make a decision that can cause you to lose your whole shirt. I understand why the labels do what they do. I understand why the artists do what they do. So I say, do like I do. Go try to make enough money to push yourself, ask God for guidance, and hope for the best, because it's a gamble.
It is a gamble. And you seem like you are very level-headed. You got it figured out. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket. You're hoping for the best, but you're preparing for the worst.
Yeah, that's it, man. Have something going and keep your fingers crossed. God, your understanding first. So that's really my thing. And the thing about when you know where you're going, a lot of times you don't get the assistance and the help from the people that know where they want you to go, because a lot of times people like to deal with those that have no knowledge of the game or the business, because, they can have full full control. And a lot of times they get intimidated by a person that has knowledge. And with knowledge comes understanding of percentages and points. It's fine. Let's just do business. But a lot of times people go get the younger. That's why a lot of times in black music, not so much in country, because in country music, you can be 65 years old and drop your first single. On our side, they want to go sign a 12-year-old or a 17-year-old or a 20-year-old,
right.
Somebody that don't know the game. That's how you end up with everybody on the internet crying and talking about how they done did me, because they signed a person that didn't understand business.
Mm-hmm.
And business is very simple. If I put money into you, I have to get it back in profit. It's called recoup.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't understand these terms, you're dealing with a person that's eventually going to end up going on the radio, going live with their phone and crying, saying, hey, they did me like this. But I just say, try to buckle yourself. You do business with somebody, do business with another business, do business with somebody that understand business. You know, if they put a loan into you, since you're lending some money, respect their dollar enough to show up, be on time, and execute to try to help win their money back, get their money back, and give them their profit, and then sit back at the table and renegotiate. You won't end up like Pooh Shiesty.
You dropping some science there, Stacii. We love it. This is a master class. I hope you young artists out there are listening to every word Stacii Adams is saying, because it's so important. Now, let's talk about your new project, what you working on musically, because you got the business side of it down. Now, let's talk about the artistic side of Stacii Adams.
And I'm still learning the business, but on the artistic side, I was blessed to be able to be on tour. Shouts out to North American Entertainment, JD Entertainment has said them to be on tour recently with Anthony Hamilton and Fantasia. I've been on shows. I do R&B, whatever they call the Southern Soul, I do that too, but I just call it R&B. I was able to see what it is to be a consummate professional, learn a lot, and then I was able to build a relationship over the years with Anthony to be able to do a record with him, which is the Happy Days record.
What was it like working with Anthony? Whoa, that must have been a treat.
You see why he get the big bucks. What you understand is, if a man is not humble, the world will humiliate him. Anthony Hamilton has a humility about himself that's unmatched. So I can truly say, from working with him, he showed up to the studio on time. He got in, we brainstormed, he wrote his verse, and shouts out to Eddie Kane for hooking it up. And I was able to see why he's in the position he's in, and that's because he's a professional. He's a real-life professional.
You know, I talked to Anthony many times, and a lot of the things that you just said, he was saying too. I remember one time he said, I'm going to try to paraphrase it, he said, if you don't have your business together, then you out here just making noise for free.
That's it. That's it.
That's it, right?
Right, that's it. That's 100%.
So I could see you and Anthony Hamilton really having a real great synergy. It's really a great record.
The name of the record is Happy Days, produced by Angelo Ray, coming off the Love You Like the 90s album, which is in the streets now. I'm pretty much just giving out my CDs to fans, hand-to-hand combat. Everything we do is 90s style. Shouts out to my background singers, Randy Man. Shouts out to Nick. Shouts out to Black Pearl and everybody that has done business with me, man. So that record is picking up. I want to give the people something to feel good about it. I think right now, I don't want to just harp on black music, but I'm going to speak on black music since I am as dark as you can get. With black music, we're getting a bad rap to where it's almost like it's about just sex, drugs, and negativity. So we're going in the studio with Anthony and putting together a record. Since I'm dealing with an icon, a real soul icon, I want to do a record that's timeless and that could embody happiness and feeling good in the culture. Everything should resort back to feeling good about yourself, having a happy day, and making sure mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically that you're ahead of the curve. And so you can be happy. It's an emotion.
Absolutely. So can you tell the folks how to get in contact with you? How do we follow Stacii Adams?
You can follow me, Stacii Adams, Stacii Adams, anywhere on social media, Facebook. Instagram is Stacii, Stacii _Adams. You can follow me there on Instagram. You can go check out Happy Days right now. Streaming is all over. And the video is out now. It's moving fast. We had about 40-some thousand views in just 6 days. So it's moving. It's picking up. It's a blessing, man. And you also can book me at 478-363-6736. That's the booking line to the booking team. And like I said, man, we just working, man, and it's a blessing to be able, in this lifetime, in this dash that I'm living in, to at least give it an effort and to know that I made a gallant effort in doing music the right way. A lot of artists hadn't had a chance to play people like Akon, Jada Kiss, David Banner, Trey the Truth, Calvin Richardson, you know, the list goes on. A lot of people hadn't been in the studio with Jim Johnson, with Justice League. My young career, at the age of 44 years old, I've been able to do a lot. I lived a life of 20 men lifetime in music, but independently it's a little harder because, like I said, when you have an idea where you're going, a lot of times, it's a little harder, but it's easy. I got in the game too, booking artists and throwing concerts and building relationships that way. So I just been pushing hard, man, and hopefully by the grace of God, this will be an opportunity that'll put me in a position where I can continue to tell my story about His glory.
I think you're going to go far because I think you got the right mindset.
Appreciate it, man.
It's really great to talk to you. We all learned a lot from this conversation, no doubt about it. It's Stacii Adams today on the Jeff Foxx Show, Behind the Mic podcast. Thank you, Stacii.
Thank you, Jeff.
And I want to thank you so much for checking out this episode of the Jeff Foxx Show, Behind the Mic podcast, a conversation with R&B artist Stacii Adams. He was really good. And remember, you can also check out the nationally syndicated Jeff Foxx radio show, bringing you the best of music, culture, and conversation every day. Oh, yeah. You can stream us online. Just look for the Jeff Foxx Show affiliates and pick your station. Also, I'm very proud to let you guys know my new album, Variations, is now available. Just go to bandcamp.com, look for Jeff Foxx Variations, and check it out. I tell you what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to play you a cut from the album. I call this one My Beautiful Song, A Moment to Remember. Let me know what you think. Variations, Jeff Foxx. Go to bandcamp.com. Check it out. We'll talk to you next time.
We got the vibe, we got the flow. Jeff Foxx, taking you behind the mic, keeping you in the know. Where the real stories are told, where the truth and the soul unfold. Now you know it's the Jeff Foxx Show, Behind the Mic podcast.
The Jeff Foxx Show, Behind the Mic podcast. Get it wherever you get your podcast.